Ricardy Anderson, and I'm running for, thank you, and I'm running for school board in the Mason District. My two children attend schools in the Mason District. They're in 1st and 4th grade, and I am running because I want for Mason District to work for our students the way that the rest of the county works for our students. And the reason why I'm able to do this is because I have the skills and experience of an educator of over 20 years. I have been a teacher, an administrator at middle school and elementary school levels, and I know what it takes to make schools run. And so I bring the experience of an administrator, of a teacher, because those are the skills that will be needed to make decisions around discipline, to make decisions about special education support for students. I know what it takes, what I wanted as an administrator in the schools to help work with students who have difficulties. I know what it takes to close the achievement gap because I've done this in many of the schools where I have worked. And so I want to bring that to Fairfax County. I want to work with the rest of the board I want to work with the rest of the board to fix the middle school times. They work on the high school times, so the middle school times is key. Most importantly, I really want to work on the equity issues that we see in our district, particularly present in Mason District. So thank you very much. Please vote for me on March 31st. I will be around to answer questions, so please be sure to see me. I am around. Thank you so much. I think I'm gonna...
Good evening, my name is Monica Billger and I'm running for Northern Virginia Soil and Water Conservation District. I'd like you all to take one quick moment and imagine your time as a child or a little bit of an adult when you put your feet in some cold running water. How many of you have done that? Can you raise your hand? Nice stream. Well, that's part of the reason I'm running today, because my children asked me when they were 3 and 4 years old if they could take their shoes off and run through some streams in Fairfax County. I didn't know what to tell them, because I wasn't sure how clean that water was. And I think that that is a disservice to our youth and the generation that we're looking at to ensure that we have clean water for all of our future. I come from this as a public health perspective. I was a nurse for 10 years. I have a public policy degree and I worked on federal advocacy for over 12 years. I brought that back down to the local level as a Northern Virginia advocacy manager for the Audubon Naturalist Society. And I've worked all over Fairfax County ensuring that to talk about equity, watershed, and all the important things that we're looking at to ensure our children have a future with clean water. For all of us, to ensure that we are in places where we have areas to play, green spaces to walk, clean air to breathe, all things that are important that I'm doing and working with the Tree Commission on as an at-large commissioner, and also as the Chesapeake Bay Ordinance Review Committee. I thank you for your time today. I hope I can look for your support, and have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alicia Plerhoples, and I'm running for chairman of the county board. I'm really excited that we're going to be able to flip the House, or flip the General Assembly in 2019. But when we do, we need a progressive leader here in the chairman seat in order to move a progressive county forward. We need a fighter for affordable housing, we're going to need a fighter for early childhood education, and we're going to need a fighter to work on environmental issues that stem the tide of climate change. We have two Fairfax counties here. They are separated by economic opportunity, and I will fight to close that gap. I've experienced both extremes. When I was 9 years old, my father was fired from his job, and we were evicted from our home. I spent the better part of my 4th grade year living in a motel room with my siblings and my parents. I bring this up because that is the experience, the daily experience of many Fairfax County residents. We have 14% poverty rates in some of our county areas. We have 1 in 4 children who are food insecure. And the county has not acted with the sense of urgency that we need. I will bring that sense of urgency, and in my professional life, this is what I do. There's been a lot of talk about experience, and experience mattering in this campaign. It matters, and I bring a real-world experience. I spent 12 years as a community economic development lawyer. I am a law professor very moment in time. We have a choice between the status quo in which we can see economic disparities increase and skyrocket, or we have a choice to set a progressive agenda for this county. Please vote for me on June 11th. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's great. Good job.
Mike should be on now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's great to see so many of our good friends and Democrats here tonight. I am Linh. I'm running for Fairfax County Board of Supervisors representing Providence District. I just want to take a few minutes to share with you my stories, what inspires me, and how we can work together to create a brighter future for Fairfax. I am here because my father escaped from re-education camps and fled Vietnam in search of freedom and opportunities. He believed that America is the land of opportunity, and he was willing to risk his life so that I could have a better life. And 10 years later, I was reunited with my, after 10 years of separation, I was reunited with my family in Oakland, California. I am here because my parents believe in my ability to achieve my American dream if I'm willing to work hard and focus on education. And education was my ticket out of poverty. It changed my life and gave me the opportunity to pursue my career. As a technology consultant, I had the privilege of helping to modernize our financial system to keep institutions access funds and resources to maintain our world-class education. I'm proud to have helped redesign our VA system so our nation's heroes can better access VA loans to buy their first home and create their own American dream. I'm running because Fairfax is at an important crossroad. Our community is changing. Our economy is changing. And what are we going to do for where do we want to be in the next 10 years? Are we going to do the same thing, or are we going to be bold and create a brighter future for Fairfax? There are three things that we need to do. We must diversify our economy by promoting trade to position Fairfax to compete globally, empowering small business to create jobs in industry of the future. And if we to lead, we need to maintain a world-class education by giving teachers a pay raise, access to universal pre-K, and more resources in our school. Thank you, and I look for your support on June 11th. Thank you.
Folks, if you're having conversations, could you maybe go in the hallway? Because there's a lot of chatter that's coming up to the front. Thanks.
That's what I was going to say.
Beat you to it.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Kelly Hebron, and I'm running to be the next lead district supervisor. Why am I here? Why am I here? I came out to tell you guys my story. My story is that I've lived here for 20 years. 20 years, I was single with a dog and a Honda Civic, and I moved here. I'm still here 20 years later. I'm married, I have 2 daughters, and we still live in Lead District. Now, why am I running? Because I think my platform's a quality of life, and we need something new. We need something different. If we want a different outcome, we need to try some different things. We need new voices, we need creativity, we need innovative ideas. So I came to you tonight with my platform of a quality of life. My quality of life, let's create some jobs. These aren't new ideas, but these are things, that voices that we need to hear. Lead District is one of haves and have-nots. We have a barren down on Route 1. We have a food desert on Route 1. We need affordable housing. And unless we start having some serious conversations, unless we start doing some things differently, we're going to have the same outcome. And so I'm running to be a voice that will resonate. I'm running to be a voice of reason, and I'm running to be a voice that has been missing from the table for far too long. Let's work together. We live together, we work together, let's solve our problems together. Thank you very much.
Hello, good evening, Democrats. Let's do some energy here. Thank you so much for at least acknowledging. I know it's late, so this is not going to be long. My name is Erika Yalowitz, and I am running for the Fairfax Fairfax County Board of Supervisors in Providence District. I am running because after 16 years of volunteering for almost everything, cleaning water streams, cleaning parks and yards from invasive species, working for at-risk youth, working for victims of domestic and sexual violence, working to teach English as a second language to immigrant adults, working for at-risk populations. I have realized that you can change one thing at a time, one day at a time when you're a volunteer. And you have to come over and over again. But when you have a seat at the table, when those decisions are made, you can change lives permanently. I have been volunteering for my homeowners association as well, one of the largest in the region, 3,000 residents. I am the vice president of the Providence District Council, which is the organization of citizens and homeowners associations in Providence. I volunteer with the Titans Partnership, with the Fairfax Federation, and I have learned about the issues. Now I started running in May last year, and since the beginning, if you see my card, you will see a city line which represents smart growth, a tree that represents environmental stewardship, and a bicycle that represents mobility. We need to improve in all these fronts to make our urban centers in Providence, Tysons, Maryfield, and Loring successful so that they can bring money back to our county and help us pay our bills, as well as preserving the character of our single-family home neighborhood. So I hope you will support me this weekend at the straw poll and also vote for me on June 11th. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kim Sigle, and I am the proxy for Andy Sigle, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. Andy Sigle is running to represent the Hunter Mill District for FCPS School Board. His collaborative and reasonable approach to taking and tackling difficult situations will be a huge asset to our schools. He has a solid background for this role, with more than 25 years as a manager and an executive in the telecom industry and an MBA from the University of Chicago, but also years of being strongly engaged with our community, including the president of the PTSA at South Lakes High School, during which time he co-chaired the creation of the very successful food pantry, which now serves more than 100 families a week and continues to do that even after our children have graduated from high school. He was most recently the president of the Reston Association Board of Directors. He's the chair of the Southgate Community Center Advisory Council, a board member for the Reston Historic Trust, and he volunteers at Cornerstones. He's a member of the Reston Chorale. Our 4 children have all graduated from Fairfax County Public Schools and have now become successful adults. We're very proud of them, and we feel that the schools have served them well. But he wants to see the school board do even more. He wants to advocate for student equity and access, support our teachers, establish infrastructure to keep up with the development that's going on in our county right now. He will be a driver for family and community engagement, and I hope that you'll support his candidacy. You should check out his Facebook page or email any questions to siegelforschoolboard@gmail.com.
Good evening. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Dick Saslaw. Thank you. I'm the state senator. As you know, a little over 4 weeks ago, we finished the alleged short session for 2019. And to say that it was an unusual session would be put it mildly. We had a few minor distractions, but we got the job done. And the budget that we did finally pass is one that I got a feeling that we're going to like, that you all, once you see it, will like it a whole lot more than our counterparts in the Fairfax County Republican Committee. One of the things that I'm proudest of is that I and Janet Howell, probably a little more me, but Janet Howell, got the teachers a 5% pay raise starting September the 1st. And let me tell you, thank you, when the budget, biennium budget was submitted by Governor McCall, the outgoing governor, it was supposed to be 2% effective December 1st, 2019. I've made it not 2%, but 5% and effective this September 1st. So it's the biggest pay raise they've had in some time. We did a lot of other things. As you know, I'm running again for re-election. I was the one that post-credited a lot with saving Medicaid expansion last year. And, you know, my career in the General Assembly has been about results. I'm not about fashion statements saying, what's fashionable for today. I'm interested in getting things done. And if we pick up 2 seats in November, I'm going to be the majority leader. And I'm going to bring a lot back to Fairfax County. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. And I really enjoy working with all of you.
Good evening, FCDC. Glad to be back. So 4 years ago, when I came before you in 2015, I came before you as somebody who was a proven community leader, a proven business leader, and an advocate for our kids. I ran on equity for all, and that we wanted equity in education. Your zip code should not determine the quality of education you get in Fairfax County. 4 years ago, I was talking about the tale of 2 counties. And I came to you and I said, give me a chance, elect me, and I will do everything I can to address those needs. So 3 years later, we have our first community schools in Fairfax County. We have all of the schools in Mount Vernon, with the exception of 1 grade in 1 school, fully accredited in Mount Vernon. There were 13 that were not 4 years ago. We have made progress on an SRO MOU. We've done a deep dive. We are doing a deep dive on discipline. We're doing a deep dive on access to advanced academics. And just today, when we heard from the community that there were problems with seclusion and restraint in our schools and in our reporting of it, everybody in Fairfax County Public Schools will have received a letter from me saying that we are going to address these issues. So when a problem comes to me on the board, I take action, I build the coalitions, and I make things happen. So I'm asking for your support for 4 more years so that we can actually realize bridging the achievement gaps become a thing in the past instead of having to deal with it as a future issue.
Hi, I'm Pamela Ononiwu. I'm running for school board representative in the Mount Vernon district. I am just a mom. I'm just a mom who cares for our children so very deeply. Last week, I was at the Virginia Department of Education public hearing, and we talked about the excessive use of restraint and seclusion in our schools. Tonight, you heard the teacher that works for FCPS tonight talk about what they're doing to our kids in the schools and her perspective as a teacher. I can tell you that the reason today that statement was released was because my coalition, my group, my parents who are advocating for more, push and push and push, because the initial statement from the schools was not enough. So today they had to release something. And that statement is still not enough because for the last 4 years, our kids have been hurt in these schools and it's not okay. It is absolutely not okay. And I can tell you, as a matter of fact, that that SRO and the MOU is not being upheld, it's not being implemented, and we have a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another 4 more years of ineffective leadership on this this topic at all. We have to change it. We have parents who are crying out. We have lawsuits. We have NDAs that have not been opened. We need the data released, and we need it released today. There are so many things going on, and I encourage you to go to WAMU and search for restraint and seclusion. You'll hear the video. You'll hear that child crying out for help. And come back and tell me if that sits well with you. I literally felt sick to my stomach hearing that. And it's not okay. We also need to change other things in Mount Vernon. We need to make sure there's more equity. We need to make sure that there's mentorship. We need to make sure there's more mental health. And we need to make sure our kids are being, our teachers have enough training, especially the instructional assistants, so they're not making near as much as some of the teachers are making. And we definitely need to close this gap. Thank you.